discovery tool as well. So the in the today's technology that Qlikview and Tableau is pioneers in the business intelligence reporting tool. So the Qlikview has its own additional salient features like in-memory and its associative query logic patented technology. So I'll be taking you through what is the in-memory and associative query logic. So in-memory basically before 6 years, 5 to 6 years before, we would be using only 32-bit OS, and that there we do have some limitations in adding the RAM, means the buffer memory. So 3 to 4 GB RAM only can be added to the any of the 32-bit OS systems. So either it is a laptop or CPU, means your system. In that scenario, if the OS is installed, around 1 GB memory would be occupied by the OS and left out with 2.8 or 2.5 GB of memory, which is used for your additional processing. So in that scenario, the Qlikview is one of the in-memory patented technology in that scenario. So what it does, actually it connects to multiple databases. It's a kind of client server. It's a kind of client server. Basically, other business intelligence reporting tool like Cognos, SAP Business Objects, these they will not be directly connecting to the production databases. They will be connecting to the reporting databases. That is called your data warehousing. So how they bring in data from production to reporting database? Through ETL layers. Either it would be a data staging or Informatica. They would bring in the data from the production database and they refresh into your reporting databases. And the business intelligence reporting BI tools would be connecting to the reporting database, and they would be forming info cubes or universe kind of things. Means they establish their own tables. So whatever the mandatory columns or the required columns, they would bring in the info cubes or in the universe, and from the universe they would be creating the report. So it is a kind of before preparing the report, it's a kind of a data modeling. We have to prepare understanding the existing data database tables, going through the ER diagrams and all those things. It's a intermediate and tedious task for the BI developers. So now this Qlikview, what happens? It is a kind of normal client server, like how VB connects to SQL Server, how D2K connects to the Oracle, how Power Builder connects to Sybase. The similar way, they would be establishing a connection profile, DSN, especially the DSN, and with the DSN, they would be connecting to the multiple databases through OLEDB or ODBC drivers. So here, if you could see. OLEDB and ODBC. So they will be connecting to multiple databases. So once they connect to the databases, they will be bringing in columns from the several tables. They prepare a data set, and those databases are brought in here in the local system. So what happens? So here there is one reload is there. Once you set up the select queries, means the load scripts from the different databases, once you reload it, automatically those results, those data sets will be loaded in your memory. So earlier, before 5-6 years before, there were limitations like only 2.5 GB memory, as I told you. So what will happen if I am having more than millions of records? So then definitely it was impacting your performance. So that was the limitations. It was stopping, or it was not allowing the business tools to grow rapidly, especially the in-memory technology. Now after 64-bit OS, these limitations are relaxed, and they are now allowed to add 8 GB or 16 GB of the RAM to the system. So now you could see that even myself also handled millions of records like invoices or inventory or my transaction tables. transaction tables and worked with millions of records, and it was not slowing down my performance. So that is one
Okay.
of the thing in memory. So now not only the BA tools, now some of the databases also they're now supporting in memory, like SAP IQ, SAP HANA, all those databases. They are now supporting in memory also as well. So why they are supporting in memory? Because every time when you establish the connection to the server, and each and every query is fired would be taken, would be fetching the result sets from the server and showing it here in the client. It was taking some time. Suppose if you would have worked in Cosmos and SAP business objects, they will be given some retrieval arguments like from and to date or some of the mandatory columns. If you fetch the records, it will be taking some time, like 1 or 2 minutes. Also, it will be taking some time if you are taking a years together data. So, but here, what is the concept here? Whatever the prepared data set, you are giving to the business users. Uh, so what happened? The business user having their data sets in their in memory, they could play and they could randomly they can play with the analysis. So it doesn't impact, though the data are already there in the buffer, so it doesn't impacting the performance also. And the dependency on the IT department or the dependency on the developers are also slightly reduced. Once the development is done, it's been implemented in the business users system, so then the dependency will be reduced. This is also one of the advantages of Qlikview.
Okay.
Any questions, Lavanya? Super.
No, I'm good.
Okay. So, and coming to this is how this is about in memory. So now associative query logic. So what is that? Actually, here you could ask what are the prerequisites in learning Qlikview. So until if you know a basic SQL queries, that is enough, and some sort of JavaScripts or VB scripts if you have worked on, that is also enough.
Okay.
Here, uh, you prepared your dashboard. Now you can see this dashboard. So now I am having the year 2009 to 2011 and quarters Q and Q2, Q3, Q4, and months from January to December. So now I didn't do any filtering. So it is my raw data in their system. So here I am having a multiple tabs like dashboard, customer web, customer sales webs, product and product grouping. So like that, multiple tabs are there. So I am selecting now year 2011. So you see,
Mm-hmm.
just I selected. So automatically my data set is filtered based on my selection, current selection. So not only in the current tab, if you could flow walk through the other tabs, automatically that the same selection will be reciprocated there. So here, so based on the selection, so my complete dashboard is behaving based on, means altered based on my current selection. So there is no filtered scripts or where conditions written here. It is taken care by AQL logic engine, which is housed in the Qlikview. So this is its own patented technology. So that it is basically easier for analysis for business users end as well as from the developers end. So developers no need to take care of additionally need to write based on my selections any where condition dynamically I have to write, or I have to write anything in my script. Nothing is required. It has been taken care by AQL logic. So
Okay.
this AQL logic is its own patented technology. So these two salient features of because of this, one is of in memory and provided the other one is for the AQL logic. Qlikview is rapidly growing now. So
Okay.
now coming to architecture. So here coming to the architecture. So here we do have Qlikview desktop, Qlikview server, and Qlikview publisher. So Qlikview desktop is a client. You can say it's the personal edition, developer edition, or Qlikview client. We can say. So the personal edition here in www.qlik.com, you can download the personal edition from the Qlikview site. Basically, there is no, it is not limited for any periods. So you can use that Qlikview download and you can start designing, developing your Qlikview dashboards. But one limitation is that suppose if you are designing, developing a Qlikview dashboard, and I am also, you and me are having both personal edition. In that scenario, I cannot able to view your dashboard. So that limitations we have. Unless otherwise I have a license version. Then if you are sending your Qlikview file to me, I can able to view that. But suppose if you don't have license version and I am having a license version, if I am sending my QVW file, then you cannot able to open that. So that is the only limitation which it has, which it
Okay.
has. So in order to view those QVW files, we need to go for a license version. So here the license for a Qlikview desktop developer edition is around $1,450, and based on the concurrent users. So if you go for a 10-seater, then accordingly 10,000 or something, some discounts would be given. So this is basically into the for the Qlikview desktop, and this desktop you can either used by the developers, designers to develop a dashboard, and provided it can be used by the business users to view the dashboard as well. So there a concept of thick and thin client we have. Suppose my Qlikview dashboard is installed in my server, and I have 100 business users there in the network. But I purchased the license version of Qlikview, so I don't have any limitation. So I can allow all my users to view the dashboard through Qlikview developer edition, means Qlikview licensed edition. In that scenario, if they are accessing the Qlikview through Qlikview desktop, then that is called as a thick client. Suppose if they are accessing the dashboard through my browser, either my Internet Explorer or my Firefox, in that scenario, that is called a thin client. Here, why I am saying this difference, while working on this capacity management, capacity planning. Suppose you are an architect and you are working for a client. Suppose the client looking for the configuration, server configuration, how much you go for. In that scenario, for the calculation purpose, you can there will be a difference for thick client and thin client. Why I am saying, suppose if you could check with the client how many dashboards most probably they would be having. If they say 10 dashboards I have, for example, each and every dashboard size would be 500 MB in that scenario. Let me take one dashboard, 500 MB. I am seeing 100 business users who can access that particular dashboard. If it is a thick line, means they are accessing the Qlikview file through the Qlikview desktop. In that scenario, no need to worry anything about your server configuration, because if they access the dashboard through the Qlikview desktop, automatically those memory would be downloaded into their inline memory. So there will not be additional hit to the server. If it is a thin client, what happens? They are accessing to the browser, so your Qlikview file is still in the server only. So each and every user is trying to access the QVW file which is located in the server. Then they will be doing several processes. Suppose you are accessing the first tab from the same file, I am accessing the second tab from the same file. In our sessions, in that scenario, you will be doing selecting some current selections. I will be doing some current selections. So in that scenarios, so each and every users 2 GB of 2 MB of additional memory would be hitting your server. In that scenario, 100 users into 200 MB plus the original size of your Qlikview file 500. So 200 plus 500 would be 700. In a buffer, you can put a 30%. So around 900 MB you can use for a single dashboard. If your dashboard is of 10 dashboards, then you can roughly say 9 GB of your memory your server will be taking up. So this is capacity planning. You could, when you work with the client, if he is looking for server configuration, you can explain the capacity planning to the client. So now thin client and the thick client, I am coming to the server now. So once you install your server, the server is costing around 25,000 US dollars. It is not available free based on the CALs, means your access license. So that would be priced accordingly. So for example, suppose you have 5 CALs, 5 users can be registered and can able to log in and view my server. In this scenario, once I install my server, automatically access point and the Qlikview management console will be installed server. So basically, once you install your Qlikview server, 5 services are also installed along with this. So to start the service, stop these services, all these scenarios, this Qlikview management console would be used. So basically, the Qlikview management console would be used to maintain your server. It's a kind of management console. And access point, actually, I told the thick client and thin client. Thick client is accessing the dashboard through Qlikview, it's your Qlikview desktop. Thin client, they would be accessing through browser. So the browser, in the sense, they would be accessing through access point. Access point can be opened in your browser only. So what happens? There would be a folder structure. I'll show you. So automatically this program data folder would be installed in your server, and here there will be a ClickTech one folder would be there, and data folder is there. So here only you have to move all your dashboard files. So once whatever the dashboard files are here in this folder, you have to configure this in the Qlikview server. So basically, once your configuration is done, if you open up your access point, how many dashboards are there here placed? Those dashboards will be viewed as a snippet in your access point. Then you can go access them. So that I will be explaining you in the classes. So this is what your server has. So the server, using the server, you can able to view your dashboards either through intranet. In the intranet, suppose if you are connected to a company website and you are working in the company network, then in the intranet through access point you can view your dashboard. Now you are traveling. I wanted to see this dashboard in my web. In that scenario, this Qlikview server, while installing, Qlikview web server also would be installed. So that would be wrapped with IaaS. So in that scenario, again the same folder structures are configured there in the QVWS. Then you can able to view it in the web as well. So this is related to Qlikview server. So any doubts?
No.
Okay. And coming to the publisher, so the publisher is another component, and this is also the license cost of $25,000. What the two major functionalities of Qlikview publisher, like I told you that we can establish connections to multiple databases. Those connection strings profiles would be maintained here in the publisher, and provided, as I told you, we can able to connect directly to the transaction DB, production DB. In that scenario, here we do have the file structures like the workspace files. QVW is a dashboard file, and the QVD, it's a data file. So wherein though we directly connect to the databases, we will be having an intermediate layer called QVDs, Qlikview data files, wherein we can house all those data there in the QVD. So basically, the QVDs, so our dashboard will be connecting to QVDs, and the data from the multiple data sources will be there housed in the QVDs. So each and every table will have one QVD. That is the limitation. And this QVD would be refreshed periodically. Either you can write a scheduled action, either 1 hour once, 2 hour once, or 4 hour once, or once in a day, or twice in a day. You can able to refresh those QVDs connecting to the particular databases. So those connection profiles and provided scheduled actions are handled here in the Qlikview publisher. This is one major thing. And the next thing is, whatever the dashboards are there designed, placed in your server, those dashboards, some of the business users would be looking for, I need some PDF reports or XLS reports, which needs to be sent, which needs to be scheduled and sent to the mail IDs. So those mail ID, recipient's mail ID would be there here in the publisher, and through scheduled action, we can able to send those reports periodically to the respective recipients. These two activities being done here in the Qlikview publisher.
Okay.
So this is about the overview and the architecture. And next, coming to the what are all the functionalities of Qlikview. So Qlikview, here we can create 13 charts. So bar chart, line chart, and a combo chart, which is a combination of both the bar and line, or the line and line you can have. And here, before that, the two things are there, dimensions and expressions. The dimension would be the x-axis, static values, and the expression would be the y-axis. and it is an aggregation dynamic based on your aggregation calculation, it would be growing. So this is one. And have you ever worked in data warehousing, Lavanya?
Yeah, I used to use business objects reporting.
SAP business objects.
Yeah.
So you are clear with the star schema, right? Star schema and snowflake schema, fact and dimension tables.
Yes.
So yes, the same similar is followed here, fact and dimension tables. So because we to prepare a good data model, we would be progressing towards working in the star schema or else snowflake schema. So how we can be achieved here? The table viewer is there. Control D. We can able to see those tables. So from this only, we could able to understand how the tables are associated with it. And so you see here the link table is there. So normally while working with suppose two types of clients would be there. Either we'll be having a technical architect from the client. He knows the requirement clearly, and he will be explaining the requirements with a detail. Otherwise, some places what happen, only business analyst or your business people should be there, so they don't anything about technical. So we have to help them out achieving it. So in that scenario, what happens? You will be working more in achieving all those schemas and understanding the ER diagrams and table structures, etc. So here, suppose why I told, because if the technical architects are there, then they will clearly specify you with the fact tables and dimension tables. So in the otherwise, what happens? We have to sit and understand, analyze, and come to a conclusion which are all the fact tables and which are all the dimensions, which cannot be arrived. These fact tables which cannot be derived in this scenario. Here, link table on concept is there. So that link table is a considered as a fact table. You see the dimensions surrounding it, like a stars.
Okay.
So here also the same concept is followed. Through table viewer we can understand the data model, and we can tweak here bringing or to achieve your star data model. So here also the fact dimension, star schema, snowflake schema is there, and provided as I told you the dimension and expression which are all x and y axis coordinates. And we do have a z-axis, like when you go for a scatter chart, everything is there. I will show you. So here in the chart we have 13 types of charts: bar, line, combo, and you can give a radar chart and a guard chart, and this is a macro chart, and pivot tables and your straight tables, and this is a block chart, and this is your funnel chart, and this is your pie chart, and this is your grid and scatter. So similarly, we have 13 charts are there based on the needs. So every chart is its own objective and purpose. So based on that, we will be designing. And in addition, like we do have a box plot. Like if you go for weather prediction or your stock movements, those can be achieved here with the box plot. And you will be having a release chart with the quadrants prediction, like the sales reps, and with the quarters, I have to project in the quadrant wise. So in that scenario, release chart is used, and the waterfall charts, the breakdown of the analysis. Suppose I have my expenses which needs to be still breakdown. So then I can able to have it in the waterfall chart.
Okay.
I should do that. And a lot of KPIs we can make it here in the Qlikview. See the bar charts. So we do have time dimension, staked bars, and long text dimension and staked bars. And you see the combination of a bar and line, and you can see the movements. This is your radar chart, and you see this macro and block charts, which would be worked only for the ratios. And you can see this is the waterfall, the revenue. What are the breakdown of your revenue? You can able to see it in the waterfall chart. And this trends. This is the box plot. So the stock movements or your weekly exchange rate or your weather forecasting, this can be seen through this box plot. So here you see this analysis. It is like, so not only based on the selections, you can even move your cursor and further drill down and see the analysis. And if you are clearing it, automatically it will be back to my original screen that release chart. You can see it in the quadrants. Like this country, my sales based on I can place it in the quadrant wise. And this is your table box, straight table, and pivot tables. Still, you can further drill down. And if you want to swap, suppose I want this sales rep and to be shown in the in the top, I can able to move this. So see, this arrow, blue arrow will be there, and I can able to move it here. So these I'll be explaining you in the classes and butterfly charts. So like P&L accounts and the data, those financial reports we can able to bring it in the butterfly chart. Like the analysis and YTD will be, and MTD will be placed both ends, and you will have the components in the middle. So these types of the charts we can able to make it. And here, suppose some of my charts, like for example, I have my project planning, MPP is there. So I have those tables cannot able to design here, or with the perfection, with some string, Java strings kind of screen. I want to make it here in the Qlikview. In that scenario, what happens? If they take the help of any Java script or Java developers, they design in the JavaScript and CSS. If they create some of the charts there, in that scenario, through extension, I can able to bring it here. For example, I'll show you. See, suppose these organization charts are there. So this I cannot able to straight make it here in the Qlikview. In that scenario, I'll be taking an help of Java developers, and they develop here. There is a web view is there, turn off and turn on. So if I'm turning on, so this earlier this chart was showing unknown chart type. So now you see if I turn on my web view, automatically this would be showing the organization chart now. See. So these charts are developed in the JavaScript. So what I mean is that so suppose if any of the charts, if you could able to design in other languages through extension, you can able to bring in here in the Qlikview as well.
Okay.
So the extensibility is there, and provided still it is having its own connectors, like it can connect to the SAP reporting database, R3 database, GCC databases, and connect to multiple modules like sales and distribution, materials management, and PP, production planning, and the GL, and all those modules, and they can bring in the respective tables here, and they can prepare a dashboard. So for that, to connect to the databases, we have SAP connectors. And you know, Salesforce, one of the world's best CRM, there also it will be establishing the connection and bring in those tables here and prepare a dashboard here.
Okay.
And also it is having a provision connecting to big data as well. So this is functionalities here. And in addition, we have set analysis and alternate states, like year-on-year analysis, month-on-month analysis, quarter-on-quarter analysis. Last year, the same quarter, what would be my actuals, and based on that, I could able to plan something this year for this quarter. So those kind of things we can able to do it here in the set analysis. And rolling months. Suppose I am in June, so starting last July till this month, June, the rolling 12 months, what would be my figures? So if I'm moving to July, automatically that would be from August to July. So like that, the rolling 12, 13 months can be able to make it here in alternate states are there. Suppose I wanted to understand the buyer's behavior. So what are all the items they purchase and which they didn't purchase in a combination. So that can be done in the alternate states on concept recently introduced here on Qlikview 11. So the current version of Qlikview is 11.2. So these kind of analysis also can be able to do here. So this course would be a 40 to 50 hours. So we would be starting from the basic till your extension macros. Everything would be covered here. and
Okay.
data association, and we have loadings. We have several loadings. We have, and what are the functions and all those things we will be covering here in the classes.
Okay.
So, any questions? Allow me.
No, I think I'm good.
Okay. So you're clear with the Qlikview, right? So now you got some overview about Qlikview.
Yeah. I have a question. Like, you will send me those like PowerPoint presentations which